It was recently announced that Highguard will lose the majority of its developer team, so it piqued my curiosity enough to go and at least give it a try, and that is despite not being good at PvP games nor enjoying them. And I will say Highguard is not my cup of tea. That being said, there are redeemable things about Highguard that I think has been drowned out in the conversation about it. I think the shooting is completely fine, and all of that. I think the graphics are mediocre, but I think the idea of the game is pretty interesting. With having these phases where you will progressively either go out and loot new items, you'll have constant movable objective points, and on top of that, you have this borderline player raiding system where you will be going into different bases and like raiding them. And I think the raids on the bases are actually some of the peak of the game. I love it when the game gets to that end period of a match where you are fighting for the control point, that being your base, whether or not you're the one who's reinforcing and defending your base, or you're the one attacking the base. It's always a pretty good time. I think one of the majority faults of Highguard was the fact that it was a hero shooter, something which we have seen a lot of lately. And on top of that, it didn't do anything new in the fold. It had the raiding and stuff like that, and it has some looting mechanics from Battle Royales that were kind of unique in the combination, but it doesn't have anything that really makes it stand out. It was graphically looked like every other game out there, and on top of that, when it came to the gameplay itself, while the shooting was competent, it's another PvP shooter. I think it would have done much better if it came out with more player numbers, in the sense of you could play more than just 5 people at the most together in a team. Like maybe having 30 versus 30 battles or something. Like really just amp that shit up and make it crazy or something like that. Because at least that would have stood out a little bit more. At this point, Highguard is really just known for its failure. A failure of mostly marketing, as people didn't even really know what Highguard was until it came out. As there was no clarity after the first trailer, there was nobody who said anything about the game. Complete radio silence until it dropped, and when it dropped, it immediately fell into people feeling a little bit disappointed with it, to say the least. Not alone the fact that it seems like they spent the entire marketing budget on buying the Game Awards announcement. That really was unnecessary, completely honestly. But the game itself is pretty competent, and it surely doesn't deserve to be shut down, in my opinion. I think if you haven't played it, go and give it a try at the very least, because I do think there is something special here. However, saying that it is special and saying that it is good is two different things. With all that being said though, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, you can check out my full thoughts on it at the pinned video.